There's a great experiment where rats were given a lever to press for cocaine, and after learning that it releases a lot of dopamine, the rats will press that lever till exhaustion or death, which is essentially the model of addiction that we see in humans. But if the cocaine is then removed, eventually they won't press the lever anymore. And that's really powerful because it shows that when individuals are under extreme stress, they are more vulnerable to going back to compulsive overconsumption of our drug of choice because their brain has already encoded using these high dopamine rewards as a way to get out of that pain.
Now she's returned to warn us that addiction is the modern plague.
What's that mean? Dr. Anna Lembke. For anyone that might not know you, and they didn't watch our conversation last time, which was a fantastic conversation, one of my favorites of all time, and also I know Jack has said to me as well that it was one of his favorites of all time. Who are you and what have you spent your career doing if you had to summarize it?
I'm a psychiatrist. I did a residency in psychiatry at Stanford University, and then I stayed on, joined the faculty.
Why does it matter so much? Why does this idea of dopamine matter so much?
We are living in a time and place where we have more access to luxury goods, more disposable income, more leisure time, even for the poorest of the poor, ever before in recorded history. And I do think that addiction is the modern plague. I think we're going to be struggling with the problem of compulsive overconsumption in a world of abundance for the foreseeable future, as in centuries.
So as it relates to the subject of dopamine, how do these two things link? Our habits and dopamine. What is the link or the connection there? Because I think most people listening right now have probably made a New Year's resolution, even if it's just in their mind. And I'm wondering how everything you write about in Dopamine Nation is related to and critical to understand if I am going to shake some of these bad habits that I have or pick up some new ones.
The place to start is to have self-compassion because we are living in a world of abundance where we have easy access to all kinds of reinforcing substances and behaviors. And access itself is one of the biggest risk factors for addiction. So if you grow up in a neighborhood where drugs are easily and readily accessible, you're more likely to try them and more likely to get addicted to them. And what do addictive substances and behaviors do to our brains? They release a lot of dopamine all at once in a dedicated part of the brain called the reward pathway. So our brain really encodes that experience deeply, that experience of intense pleasure that was self-administered that I could potentially do again.
Why?
In a world of scarcity and ever-present danger, which is the world that we evolved for, we will naturally, reflexively approach pleasure and avoid pain, and we must do so for our survival.